Yo, gamer name here and welcome to another Tekken 7 video, and today my boys are gonna be taking a look at Lei Wulong and why I consider him as one of the most underrated game characters in the game. So I'm going to introduce a new series called Character Spotlight, where I basically talk about one of the most underrated characters in the game. I don't know how far I'll go with the series, but I just thought to myself, let's talk about something new, something unique. There's a lot of hype on Tekken 8 right now, but Tekken 7 is still ongoing. It's still a very fun game to play. So I do play Lei. For you guys that don't know, I have some hours on Lei, a lot of experience on Lei actually. I just haven't really been playing him lately. Actually, I haven't played a lot of Lei in Season 4, weirdly enough, despite the buffs. But I'm going to pick him up again starting now. I've actually been labbing him in practice mode. So I'm going to be playing some Lei, so expect some Lei videos coming soon. So anyway, let's talk about our boy Lei Wulong and why I consider him as actually one of the most underrated characters in the game, who is actually one of the strongest characters in the game. So Ni was actually in the UK a few months ago. I believe he was banking with King J for a bit, and he actually told him that he thinks Lei is one of the strongest characters in the game. And honestly, I do agree with him. Like, Lei is actually pretty crazy. He has everything. He has insane mix-up pressure, not as insane as Zafina, right? His poking tools are good. His punishment is actually improved now after the buffs. He just lacks plus frames that actually lead you to, actual mix-ups. And his neutral is not that great, right? A lot of his powerful moves come from stance, so that can be a little bit difficult to get along with Lei. But when you play this character for quite a while, you begin to flow with the character, right? You just begin to transition stances, do crazy stuff with the character. That's how he's intended to use actually, and this is what makes Lei very good. So now let's take a look at some of the basic tools that everyone is familiar with on what makes Lei great. Then I'm going to go into more advanced stuff, slept on stuff on what makes him a freaking strong character in the game. So firstly, his hell sweep. Lei is actually one of the only characters in the game, maybe outside of Leroy, that has a very max range hell sweep. Like, the range is mad. It actually has decent tracking as well. So I think I've recorded Devil Jin step right. Yeah, look at that. That's right. It tracks, like, the tracking is pretty good. That's left. So the range is mad, right? And the tracking is mad. And he just has that in his arsenal. And he is the only character, maybe outside of Leo, that gets Oki after a hell sweep at this range, right? Excluding like the Mishimas. Like, this is mad. It's just outright OP. Right? I actually have a feeling if Lei does come back in Tekken 8, this might be nerfed to give the same knockback that Bob's Hell Sweep and Leroy's Hell Sweep have, because you get insane Oki, and considering how this guy can mix you up again in stance, it's actually mad. So this is one of the obvious tools that makes him great. And secondly, Razor Rush. We all know how good Razor Rush is. Of course, it's weak to tracking, but what people don't know about this is Lei has a second version of Razor Rush, which is the 2 version. The only difference between the two is the fact that this one gives you stance transitions, right? The normal version. The second one does not give you stance transitions. It also actually has a different animation on block, right? And I believe it leaves you like 0 back turn against your opponent. Those are the two differences between the 2 versions of the Razor Rush. Although on block, it will not give you the same animation. On hit, sorry. So it's really great. What makes this thing great is the tracking. The tracking on this move, especially on the right side, is really good. So this is the normal version of Razor Rush. As you can see, the tracking is not as great, right? I'm doing it late, like the timing is, as you can see, the tracking is not that great. The second version at the right side, it tracks properly, right? Step left, Devil Jin. Go left, my bro. Bro, this man is trolling me. He's actually trolling me right now. Just step left, please. Please, Devil Jin. Please. Anyway, my point, guys, is the second version of the Razor Rush has better tracking than the first version. So what Lei players don't know or don't actually do with this character is use the two different versions of the Razor Rush to just mess up the character's sidestep attempts, because this thing has very good tracking, and if you see it hit on block, you can always stop on the second version because this thing is acceptable to parries, right? The second hit of this, or the third hit, sorry, can be parried by characters that have like strong parries like Feng or Asuka, you know, Dragunov. So just try to bait them, you know, launch them. That's what a lot of Lei players do. They can always visually see if it lands on block or it lands on hit and stop your Razor Rush attempt. But just try to use this as a tracking move, guys. Please, if you main Lei, do not sleep on the second version of the Razor Rush. So already we can see that you can implement his mix-ups, of course, due to the fact that his second version of the Razor Rush has way better tracking than the first version. So try to mix them up and throw your opponent's timing. And we all know instances where Lei Wulong just really mixes his shit, right? Dragon will just like launch you, you know, Panther has hella OP low in the mid as well. You know, Snake was buffed now, gives you guaranteed low high into mix up low high again. So instance is where Lei Wulong shines. Now one of the biggest critiques that people say about Lei is his lack of tracking. Right, they only say down forward 3 is his only really good tracking, but that's not true. Like I said, Lei Wulong has a Razor Rush that tracks pretty much both sides, and Lei is kind of like stiff to some extent, to the point that most of his moves won't appear as homing move, but actually have really good tracking. Like down 4 is 4 frame fast, so it really has insane tracking. Running 3, this one has insane tracking as well, difficult to step, can be mixed with running 1, right? So when it comes to tracking, guys, Lei is actually that bad. Forward 2 also is really good. He has a down forward 2, which is as we all know very risky to sidestep, right? Just these basic tools, already Lei is a very strong character. He has down 3 for lows, 15 damage is actually way better than King and Armor King's down 3, right? More range. Just does not have the frames because it has pushback, but it still has insane range. He has 443, which a lot of Lei players use, which you can mix it up with the full string, right? You can do 4-4, just get up immediately, or just mix him up with the 4-4-3. A really good round ender as well. But all in all, Lei thrives in his stances, so you really want to be in his stances. If you want lows, you have to, you know, be smart on how you use the stance transitions. That's just how this character is meant to be used. You won't find as strong options in his neutral as you will in his stances. Okay, so thirdly, let's look at his punishment. His punishment is actually really decent. So he has 1-1 as a 10 frame punisher. So what makes this OP? What makes his punish OP is the fact that he goes into Snake, and Snake, as we all know, season 4 was buffed to give you the low, which is the 4-1, right? Which has insane plus frames and gives you 50-50 mix up against your opponent in Tiger, right? So 1-1, 10 frame punish, boom, 50-50 mix up, right? You can go mid if you want, and this launches as well. 1-1, bruh, nani? 1-1, go low, into 50-50. Remember, he has a mid launcher and a low launcher as well. So already his 10 frame punisher is one of the best in the game. Already, right? If you want, you can just stay into Snake, right? If they duck and you want to be safe, just go 2-2, go into Dragon, right? Dragon has plus frames, Dragon has a good low. How do I go to Dragon? It's 1, right? Dragon has a good low, right? It has strings, right? So 1-1 opens up so many possibilities, right? One thing I love to do is going 1-1 into Panther, right? Into mid, right? Again, it's just a mix up, like, just flow with the stance transitions, flow with the plus frames, flow with the stance transitions, but you always have to read your opponent, right? Are they respecting your transitions? Are they respecting your plus frames? That's just how it's supposed to be. So punishment 1-1 is really good for 10 frame. He has a 12 frame punisher now. Forward 2-4, which was given to him in season 4 as well. And this leaves you back turned into 50-50 again. He can go mid and launch you, or low and launch you, right? If you want, just press down 1 for plus frames. Frame trap, this launches and counter hit. So they press any buttons, you launch their ass. Like, just all this stuff it's insane. 10, 12, and 14 is not really that great of a punisher, but it has the damage. That's 50 damage. That's pretty much combo damage. I think almost the same as Leroy's 14 frame punisher. I think Leroy's is 51. So just like 3 or 4 damage numbers short. But all in all, it's still an insane 12 frame punisher. Sorry, 14 frame punisher. Then he has, of course, hop kick for 15 and down forward 2 for 15. And long range punisher, he has forward 3, which is insane for punishing get ups, just like long range with punishment. You know, you won't easily get punished for this because it does have a mix up with the 4. You know, you can hold back, you know, to like reduce the frames, the negative frames. So just like, look, bro, like I don't understand how Lei is not really picked that much. He is really an insane character. If you guys want pro Lei players to watch, you can check out Hassan Ali from Pakistan. Really good Lei player. And one thing about Lei, it's kind of like Yoshimitsu, right? Every Lei player has a different playstyle. Every Lei player has their own unique playstyle. And for Lei, bro, oh my god. You can watch Hassan Ali, who is more fundamental with Lei, right? He always use jabs, you know, down 4s, you know, down forward 3s. Like, he's very basic. Then watch someone like Keithu. Keithu is solid, like he'll mix you up with the stances, you know, all that stuff. Like, it's insane. Like, it's really mad. So if you guys want to watch some pro Lei players, I suggest Keithu from Korea. He actually made top 8 in the last ATL, the Africa Tekken League. I believe he came out 4th or 5th. Insane Lei player. So just to add on more on Lei's tools, at the war he's insane. Like, his war game is insane because he was buffed in season 4. So Drunken Master, he was given 3-1+2, which is natural, right? Natural, low. Like, come on guys, like seriously, this is mad, right? Into 4, which puts you into Snake, which you can then mix them up again, right? He does have the mid, which is the Drunken Master 1, you can use as a mix up with the 4. If you want to get, you know, if you're feeling yourself, you can do his war tactics, you know, which gives insane plus frames. He has 50-50 here between the low and the mid, which gives a war splat. So war game, check, right? War game, check. Then his rage. Oh boy, you don't really want to talk about Lei's rage. The only bad thing about Lei in rage is that he has to be in stance to use all his rage drives. He does not have a rage drive in neutral, so you have to be in stance to use like all his insane rage drives. All these rage drives, right? So you have to be in stance, but it's very situational. One of his best rage drive is the Panther rage drive because it's low, right? Low launching rage drive already, that makes him hella good. But his best rage drive, in my opinion, is the the Tiger. This is Tiger, yeah, the Tiger rage drive, because again you can spike them at the wall. So let's start at neutral first. So at neutral, of course, just like King or Dragonov, you can spike them with the rage drive for insane damage. That's like 80 damage, is a hella good. Then at the wall is where it gets crazy. Like at the wall, all that is guaranteed. All that is guaranteed. And that's insane. The timing is a little bit strict, but bro, this is mad. The damage is insane. So I do the little jump just to get the correct timing. So rage, comeback factor, check. Fucking check. This character is very, very underrated. Lei is a very solid character, guys. Please trust me on this. Do not sleep on Jackie. He's an insane character. So the only thing that Law lacks, that Lei, I keep saying Law, bro. I get this character is so confused, guys. The only thing that Lei lacks, again, is neutral game, right? And plus frames. He has running 1, but all of his other plus frames are like in stance. And that's from, I think, 1 stance, which is Panther. Dragon, sorry, which is like Dragon 2, Dragon 4 plus 2, right? He does have Tiger 1, which is I think plus 1. So overall, in plus frames, Lei lacks plus frames, something that Zafina has, despite being like the same archetype of characters. His movement is one of the best in the game as well. He has the ha-ha step. If you can use that, pick Wallace and annoy the shit out of your opponent. But even his regular backdash is really, really good. His sidestep is good. Sidestep, like he's a very. I don't understand how Lei players, how people sleep on Lei. So anyway, guys, I don't want this to turn into a tutorial. It's just a spotlight video discussing a character that's underused, that's actually really, really good. So again, if you play Lei, do not sleep on my boy. Amazing, amazing character. I'm going to be playing some Lei. Hopefully I get enough matches to upload. But if you play Lei, guys, please stick with the character. I really hope he comes back in Tekken 8. I know he's not very popular, but I really love him. He's a very unique character with the stances and all that jazz. I really, really hope he makes it back. So anyway, if you enjoyed my video, my boys, please show some love by dropping that fat like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you guys, and GG.